Tonight on News 5 Live, a 2-year commercial agreement is finally signed by BSCFA and BSI, ending hostilities between the cane farmers and the miller. Bishop Larry Nicasio is laid to rest in Belmopan following a massive funeral service of the Catholic Church. The Toledo Alcaldes Association rejects government draft Maya customary land policy. And a shooting on Mayflower Street leaves a Jamaican national badly injured. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
I'm connected. Yo.
I'm connected.
We're connected.
Create the perfect broadband bundle that fits your style with Smart Connect. With the Junior Bundle, get 50% off your national calls and up to 6 gigabytes of data at no extra cost. Get postpaid added for an additional cost of only $25 with the Prime Bundle. Stay connected with unlimited smart-to-smart calls plus 6,300 megabytes of data and free international minutes. For the family, pay $28.13 more and get the Binge Watchers bundle with Netflix. This bundle gives you 4 profiles with unlimited streaming on multiple devices. Visit a showroom near you to sign up and personalize your own bundle combination with Smart Connect. Smart, bringing people together.
Discover a shopping experience like no other at the V Department Store. They carry a vast array of products at unbeatable prices. Elevate your shopping journey with affordability, diversity, and accessibility at the V. Conveniently located at 1745 Coney Drive in Belize City.
We love our cars.
They take us where we need to go and allow us to explore, work, and even make memories. RFNG Insurance prides itself in offering coverage options for you. We are pleased to reintroduce our Super Act policy. Drive with confidence, knowing that you are protected on both public and private roads. Experience outstanding service and reliable protection that is tailored to your budget. WhatsApp us at 670-8700 or visit an agent near you to learn more. Remember, it pays to get it right with RFNG Insurance, a Road Group company.
Belize's location is responsible for the amazing biodiversity that we find here, including quite a few endemic species that are found nowhere else in the world.
In fact, 60% of our country still remains forested. It's part of our history, it's part of our heritage, it's part of our culture.
Business has to be a long-term thing, and it has to feed into the environment. We truly believe that without a strong country, you can never have a strong company.
This is going to be a good night for croc catchers.
In a year that redefined possibilities, Digi, our national telecom, has been at the forefront of change, connecting the unconnected and transforming lives across this wonderful nation. From the heart of our bustling towns to the far reaches of our rural landscapes, Digi has bridged the gap, providing connectivity that empowers communities and fuels progress. Our commitment to accessibility has paved the way for a more inclusive digital future, making technology a tool for all. Our commitment to growth and development has transformed the nation, unlocking doors to progress as we power businesses, empower individuals, and elevate communities. We're not just connecting people, we're building the foundation for a brighter future. The impact has been significant as we drive growth and development across the nation. Together, we've woven a tapestry of progress, laying the foundation for a connected, booming future. None of this would be possible without the trust, support, and confidence of our loyal customers, and the dedication of our incredible team, whose passion and expertise have been the driving force behind every achievement. As we step into the new year, we're inspired to continue our journey of innovation and excellence, carrying the momentum of our achievement and the promise of more to come. Digi, our national telecom, remains committed to delivering high-quality products and services that build not just connection, but a stronger, more resilient nation. Here's to a new year filled with endless possibilities, innovation, and progress. Thank you for being a part of our journey. Digi, our national telecom, wishes all Belizeans a happy and prosperous 2024. Together, let's build a future that's connected, inclusive, and thriving.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Tuesday, January 9th. I am Sabrina Daly. A funeral service was held today in Belmopan for Bishop Lawrence Nicasio of the Roman Catholic Diocese. Bishop Nicasio passed away in the early hours of January 1st after battling cancer for a few years. His funeral service had an outpouring of Catholic priests and other clergy members of the Council of Churches, parishioners, nuns and teachers, and government ministers, including Prime Minister John Briceño. News 5's Marian Ali attended the event and brings you the highlights in this report.
A solemn yet impressive funeral service for the late Bishop Lawrence Nicasio was held today at Our Lady of Guadalupe Co-Cathedral in Belmopan. The service started at 10 this morning with the entrance of 4 bishops from the Caribbean who are part of the Caribbean Antilles Episcopal Conference, and the attendees spilled onto the lawn outside where tents and speakers were already set up to provide shelter for the congregation. Bishop John Persad was the chief celebrant.
For we who believe in the resurrection, we who believe that Jesus was not held by death, but rose triumphant from the grave, we believe that our brother will live. St. Paul writes so powerfully in his writings, nothing in this world, nothing still to come, not even death, can separate us from the love of God made visible in Christ Jesus. Our sadness gives way to a joy, knowing that our brother, who has made his final surrender in death,
during the 2-hour-long service, Bishop Nicasio's family members read from the Bible.
The just man, though he die early, shall be at rest.
There was the lively singing of the Our Father in Garifuna, accompanied by drummers, just how the late bishop would have liked. Bishop Persad prayed over Nicasio's casket, and there was the blessing with holy water and incense.
May the martyrs come to welcome you and take you to the holy city, the new and eternal Jerusalem. May the choir of angels welcome you, where Lazarus is poor no more. May you have eternal rest.
The bishop asked Nicasio's family to stand, and he thanked them for sharing him with the Catholic Church.
Members of Larry's family who are present to stand, please. Stand where you are. That we may acknowledge your presence. Wonderful. God bless you. Bless his life in many ways. God bless you. Thank you.
The late bishop's brother, Herbert Nicasio, traveled from the U.S. to attend the funeral. He shared with News 5 that even though his brother gave his life to the church, he also kept a watchful eye on the family.
Even with his nieces and nephews and friends, he takes stand. He is friendly, but also he's firm and disciplined. That's what I like about him, you know?
So if somebody needed a scolding in the family, they got it?
He is more the neutralizer for our family, you know? He's the neutralizer. When something goes wrong and it becomes problematic, they would send for him, or he would come in and he would be the one put the family on the right path.
In check.
In check.
Bishop Nicasio was laid to rest on the same grounds of Our Lady of Guadalupe Co-Cathedral, beside the late Bishop Osmond Peter Martin, also of Dangriga, who supported him in his calling to the faith and who predeceased him some years ago. Bishop Larry succeeded the late Bishop Doric Wright in 2017. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.
Among the many attendees and government officials at Bishop Nicasio's funeral today was the Minister of Religious Affairs, Henry Charles Usher. Following the service, Minister Usher told us that he knew the late bishop from before he was ordained in that capacity and thought that he was a true and humble servant of the church.
It is an honor for me to be able to be a part of the funeral service, the celebration of the life of Bishop Larry Nicasio, a true humble servant of Belize, humble servant of the church, and certainly a leader in the church that will be missed. He was a guy who was always down to earth, happy, always willing to help out. So he will be missed. I got to know Bishop Larry when he was at Holy Redeemer. Before he was a bishop, Father Larry, and we became very close. So I was saddened to hear about his passing, but happy to know that he had a good life, he was a good man, and we need to pray to him. I was always happy to see Bishop Larry take part in what was happening in the country in terms of putting out statements as the head of the Catholic Church, but also as a member of the Council of Churches. I think that we always had cordial relations with the Catholic management. Certainly there were negotiations that became more than just casual conversations, correct? But there was never a situation where we felt that we were clashing heads or in any way was it argumentative or a way that we felt that we couldn't reach a resolution.
The passing of a bishop leaves a great void within the clergy, and for a congregation that looked to its proverbial shepherd for religious leadership. During today's funeral service for Roman Catholic Bishop Larry Nicasio, it was announced that Father Jordan Gongora will act as administrator for the Roman Catholic Diocese until another bishop is appointed. This gives Gongora some rights and privileges of a bishop, and he told us what they entitle him to do in that capacity.
The Metropolitan Archbishop of Kingston, Jamaica, who we are under his Metropolitan, had the liberty and with canon law granting him that a capacity to name an administrator, whom they agreed to name me as the administrator of the diocese now in transition. And so my task will be to continue the daily operation of the diocese, the chancery office, and also leading the parishes. I have certain responsibilities like a bishop, but it's not the same as a bishop. The bishop has his own full authority and jurisdiction as the bishop. And so the church will now transition. We're going to start to pray together as a church, asking the Holy Spirit to grant us a new bishop for the diocese.
Is it natural progression that you would be considered when that time comes?
I don't know. It's God's will. There are several other candidates that will have to be named. Yes, locally or international. We belong to the Caribbean Antilles Episcopal Conference, so they will now begin the process.
Coming up, will BSCFA reprimand farmers who delivered cane during impasse? We'll have more details when we come back.
Hello, friends. I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, Jesus stood and cried, saying, If any man thirst, let him come unto me and drink. He that believeth on me, as the Scripture hath said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. But this spake he of the Spirit, which they that believe on him should receive. For years it appears that Belize depended upon Mexico and their diesel engines to provide electrical power for the country to operate on. Then the McCall-Moyahan, a hydroelectric plant, was built in the mountains between San Ignacio and Guatemala in the Cayo district. During the early stages of its construction, I had the privilege of viewing this project and watching skilled Belizeans and Chinese dam builders at work. I was amazed as they blasted their way through a solid granite mountain for about 2 miles, building a tunnel for water to flow through. Then they diverted the McCall River from its natural course to flow through that tunnel, and to provide the power for the turbine engines to generate electricity that would benefit the entire country of Belize. As I saw what they were doing, I thought, what power? However, there is a greater power than that generated at the hydro plant. It is a power of the Holy Spirit that indwells each believer who has repented of their sin. Are you trying to provide your own power to live the Christian life? If so, come to Christ and believe, and let the river of living water flow through you. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
The impasse in the sugar industry is ended, and an agreement between cane farmers and the millers, BSI, ASR, has been signed. It has been a challenging time for all involved, with repercussions for all of us and for the nation. But as a responsible government, we face this challenge as we do all others, with respect, calm heads, and determination. We have always remained confident in our people, understanding that all we want, any of us, is just a better life for our families and the development of our beloved Belize. It is an agreement forged through peaceful, constructive dialogue, and our Prime Minister and his team are grateful to all involved. Our cane farmers who fought for their rights, BSI, ASR, who understood that we are all in this together, and all who participated in getting us to this point, a victory for Belize. This is real governance. This is real progress. Let us stick with the plan. Let us stay on track.
Belize's location is responsible for the amazing biodiversity that we find here, including quite a few endemic species that are found nowhere else in the world.
In fact, 60% of our country still remains forested. It's part of our history, it's part of our heritage, it's part of our culture.
Business has to be a long-term thing, and it has to feed into the environment. Do we truly believe that without a strong country, you can never have a strong company?
This is going to be a good night for croc catchers.
Let's take a journey through the core functions of the Social Security Board. It all starts with registering as an insured person, employer, or self-employed individual. Sign up for a portal account to manage your Social Security information online. Just provide accurate information and click Create. This will give you access to a range of services and benefits. Next, your contribution, along with investments and other income, are collected and distributed into 3 funds. This ensures that the SSB fund is securely utilized to support various benefit programs. The SSB is committed to providing essential benefits such as sickness, maternity, injury, and pension. These benefits are paid out to eligible individuals as a part of the Social Security coverage. We help you navigate through life's challenges with financial security. Annual surplus accumulates to grow the fund each year. This surplus is invested into various industries, contributing to the growth and development of our nation. With each passing year, the fund continues to grow due to the annual surplus and interest revenue earned from prudent investments. This surplus, along with reserves, helps to bolster the SSB fund and provide a safety net for those in need. We've arrived at the end of our journey to better understanding how the SSB works. We remain committed to serving you and building a secure future for all Belizeans.
The sugar impasse is over. Late on Monday night, an agreement between Belize Sugar Industries Limited and the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association was finally signed. This puts an end to several days of demonstration by members of the association and growing frustrations among cane farmers. The protracted impasse involved blockades along the road and tensions between cane farmers and the government. The agreement was initially anticipated to be signed early last Friday morning, but disagreements over the economic analysis proposal led to a stalemate. Eventually, an agreement was finalized and signed following a closed-door meeting in Yo Creek Village, Orange Walk. News 5's Hippolyta Novello summarizes the events that led to the successful resolution.
In the interests of the very important sugar industry, the government of Belize, for several months, decided to get involved to try to resolve the differences between the BSCFA and BSI.
At 10:25 on Monday night, an agreement between Belize Sugar Industries Limited and the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association was signed, signaling the end of a protracted impasse. Mr. Fred, are you tired?
Yes, I'm a bit tired. I am a human.
And while some cane farmers grew tired, others became frustrated.
They tell me Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, today and Monday. I didn't sign nothing yet. They take it like Papi Show, like Lee Boy. See, and what happened? People don't get back already.
During the 9 days of intense negotiations, cane farmers expressed their frustration not only with BSI but also with the Briceño administration. Last week, Cañeros temporarily prevented Agriculture Minister Jose Mai from leaving the Surrey compound.
Did you at any point felt unsafe?
Absolutely not. I've seen worse than that in the times of the UDP, right? And the farmers know who has genuinely worked for them, right? And actually, they didn't want me to leave because they want an answer now and then. And so I understand the frustration of the farmers.
And the angry farmers were also sending a message to the members of the PUP Northern Caucus. No agreement, no votes.
The BCFA doesn't have to tell its members not to vote for the PM. The people are suffering. And that very same suffering, right, is the one that dictates their choice of vote. And if you cannot read that in the eyes, right, in the pain, in the suffering of the people in this northern part of the country, then he's completely disconnected. He's not part of this region. He's like in another world.
And in the world of the Cañeros, burning tires and blocking the roads are a means of getting their message across, which they believe was done so last week when both parties finally agreed on 4 key points. But that was short-lived when both parties could not agree on the language of Proposal 3, which spoke to an economic analysis to be conducted by Hugh O'Brien of the Ministry of Agriculture to determine whether cane farmers should pay for terminal costs and throughput fees.
The delay was what BSI have placed within the agreement, the draft agreement that they sent, on which they had included in it how or putting in it ways on how or guiding how Mr. Hugh will be doing the investigation, on which that was not we agreed on Thursday. We said, or it was placed to us, put to us, that Mr. Hugh will be doing a thorough investigation to see if what BSI is saying in regards to the charges of the throughput costs and the terminal costs are necessary for it to be done. And now that they send the document, they send it with portion in it on which they want to guide the process and want to put on how Mr. Hugh will be dealing with it, and that is not the case, and that is why we rejected it.
In a video posted by BSI, its Director of Finance, Sean Chavaria, explained why the factory wants to charge the farmers these fees.
In 2022, we moved our operations to Big Creek following an investment of $30 million to modernize that operations. We had done a trial and it was determined that it would be more feasible, economical for us to move the operations there. We would see cost savings in ocean freight, and we would also see cost savings in port charges, of which there would be stevedoring and throughput fees. So those are the 2 main costs that we're now incurring. Now, what we had explained to all the associations, including the BSCFA, that despite there being a new charge called throughput fee, the combination of the stevedoring and the throughput fee would be less than what we were paying in Belize City. So we looked at the past 5 years, 2019, 2020 and 2021. So this was when we were still in Belize City. And so those years we incurred only stevedoring costs. And as you can see, the cost per ton went up those 3 years. And it peaked in 2021 at $32.30 per long ton. 2022 is when we made the transition to Big Creek. And you will see here, we had stevedoring and this new cost called throughput. But the combination of the throughput and the stevedoring was 50% lower than the previous year we were paying in Port of Belize City.
With the BSCFA threatening to return to the first step of negotiations, Prime Minister John Briceño decided that it would be best to have all parties in a room to finalize the negotiations. That meeting was held in York Creek Village and went late into the night, with Briceño announcing that agreement had been reached.
As with any agreement, the devil was in the details. It was expected that an agreement would be signed early this morning, but late last night, the parties could not agree on the scope of the work that was to be conducted by Mr. O'Brien, and the parties reached a stalemate once again. After the deadlock could not be brokered by 2 p.m. today, I sanctioned both parties and their lawyers to sit in a room and not to leave until we have an agreement. Now we have an agreement. I'm happy to announce that the SAFRA, as we know the sugar cane season, can now commence normally, with all sugarcane farmers associations delivering and the mill processing at optimum.
And so with that, the impasse is over. Well, at least for the next 2 years, when another commercial agreement is expected to be signed. Reporting for News 5, Hipólito Novello.
He went public last week to suggest that perhaps the government should nationalize the sugar factory at Tower Hill after it seemed like there was no solution in sight for the deadlock involving the BSCFA. Last Wednesday, PUP Chairman Henry Charles Usher, who is also a cabinet minister, was quoted on Vibes Radio and TV as saying that it would serve better if the government acquires the sugar mill. That was when the disputing parties were in the thick of their differences. Now that there's been a joint signing of a commercial agreement between the two parties, the collective hope is that the parties will press on with the business of sugar. So today, when we caught up with Usher, we asked for his thoughts on this breakthrough.
I am happy to hear that there has been resolution, that all parties were able to come to the table, and late yesterday evening or into the night, they were able to come to a resolution. The Prime Minister has put out a statement, and we are happy that we are able to start the sugar crop. We know that the cane farmers are eager to start, and we have to make sure that we continue to operate, continue to be honest brokers between the cane farmers and the mill to make sure that it's in the best interest of the country, the best interest of those stakeholders within the industry, especially the cane farmers.
Do you foresee any future disputes and confrontations?
Well, I am not Nostradamus, so I can't see the future, but I certainly believe that if we continue to dialogue, if we continue to be willing to be around the table, be willing to be respectful of each other's opinions, of each other's views, and for government to continue to be that honest mediator between the two sides. Because remember, this is an issue between the cane farmers and the mill, but government must act as honest brokers, as regulators of the industry, so that the industry is operated in the best interest of all Belizeans.
During the sugar impasse between BSI and BSCFA, the factory allowed members of the association to deliver cane under an open agreement. Some members of the BSCFA took on the offer and delivered cane to the factory for milling. So we asked the BSCFA's Vice Chairman, Alfredo Ortega, if those farmers will be penalized for their decision. Here is his response.
Members of BSCFA who delivered cane, will they be expelled, punished, penalized, reprimanded for their decision to do so?
Well, I'm unable to speak at this point in that regard. We will be dealing with it as soon as we finalize with the signature and we close our meeting. We'll be dealing with it, and based on what our farmers bring out, well, that is where we will be acting upon.
Is there any situation where you can see that BSCFA will forego the fair trade premium?
No. The fair trade premium is included in the negotiation that we have had with the Prime Minister. So he has promised us that he will be talking with the person in charge of Tate and Lyle, and we expect that that once we sign, that we can be, well, we are eligible for fair trade funds. The only thing is the negotiation, but we expect that with this new movement that has happened and what has transpired, we have been doing our peaceful movement, and we expect that we be respected with that, and that our premium be given to us as like any other association.
A draft Maya customary land policy was introduced in early December to provide a framework for the development and implementation of affirmative measures to be taken by the government of Belize in fulfilling the consent order mandated by the Caribbean Court of Justice. The policy also provides a guide to inform the necessary changes and indicate the primary approach to recognize and protect the rights that make up the Maya customary land tenure. On January 5th, the Toledo Alcaldes Association received a copy of that 21-page document, and after perusing the policy, firmly denounces government's course of action. Earlier today, News 5 spoke with Christina Koch, a spokesperson for TAA, on the latest developments regarding the controversial policy.
We certainly denounce the proposal of this new policy. One, because it now deviates from what was originally consulted on, so it's now adding new things that we were not consulted on. And in particular, we are concerned about 0.75 to 1.8 miles from the center of the village is what is being recognized. That really threatens our lives, given that the way we use land goes beyond that very small circle that is being considered. I mean, our farms, some of our homes are left unprotected. Our farms, the areas we gather, the areas we harvest, we hunt, we fish, we practice our spirituality. All of this poses a threat to our lives and to our land tenure system. And so certainly we denounce this proposed new draft of a policy. And as we stated, we just received this new draft Friday of last week. And so we are certainly sharing this policy with our communities, our leaders, and essentially it is the community that will collectively take a stand to continue to denounce this policy.
How did government come up with that particular distance from the center of each community? How was that arrived upon?
That's the same question I have, Isani, and that's a question you will have to pose to the government. I don't have the answer for that question. I am as surprised as you are and have the very same question of how they have arrived at that formula.
According to Koch, the Toledo Alcaldes Association is presently sharing the document with the various communities and is awaiting feedback on the way forward.
Aside from denouncing the draft policy as it is, what course of action or measure can be taken on your part as a TAA? Is this something that perhaps you can have your lawyers look at? Is it something where you would have to go about your own form of advocacy or resistance if that were the case?
At this point, we have not received full instructions from our communities. Our immediate responsibility is to let the communities know what is being proposed in this policy.
Is there any other concern regarding any other aspect of the policy beyond what you have identified?
At this moment, this is the main concern that we have. And of course, we are going to, as you suggest, take a more in-depth look at every detail of this new proposed policy. But at this point, this is the big ticket issue. This is the broadest issue that we have with it.
After the break, remembering Belizean cultural icon Andy Palacio 16 years later. But first, here's the weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
Ignite the innovator in you with Dell. Cellular World is an authorized partner for Dell Technologies. Whether you're looking for equipment for personal use or to transform your business, Dell Technologies can provide you with the right equipment to suit your needs. Dell is more than just desktop computers and laptops. The full line also includes monitors, data storage solutions, keyboards, docking stations, and other accessories. This is technology that makes it possible and provides solutions for every situation. Shop for your Dell products at Cellular World, your #1 Dell authorized partner in Belize, and get all the technology you want for less. Bring your brightest ideas to life with intelligent technology. Cellular World, authorized Dell partner.
Yes, I give her 50 times ending, now me have to pay.
Where you going, bruh? The who they stress you out again, Namule?
Boy, I don't want to believe I the fool again.
Again?
But I mess up this time for real. You really want to know?
Yes. I want here.
Can't make it a big deal.
We know what that.
I know how you going now.
Oh, man.
You really want to know?
Yeah?
Take my plan, and I give her. I take my plan and put it in a name.
In a name? Wait, so tell me something. You still pay for this plan?
Yeah. But hear this. This plan, I can't left this plan. Smart Belize. This plan, I can't left this plan, yeah. This plan, I can't left this plan. Postpaid plan. This plan, I can't left this plan. With Smart Belize, it's unlimited data. Smart Choice plan can light up your day. Postpaid with eSIM, make everything better. Just visit Smart Showrooms today. I can't left this plan. 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 Affordable for everyone. I can't left this plan. The postpaid plan, cause the data really strong.
You know why? Listen, for the best post and prepaid. You know that Smart got you back.
My bad. Wrong commercial. She could left me for another man. The truth, once I have my plan, once I have my Smart Plus plan, I no worry cause the data strong. I know when the bleed, cause that's all I need. And you could tell me where you are, but I know I left this plan. Smart have the best services. We post your plan have everything, so you could talk and text unlimited. Come set up your group, we got share plan 1 and 2. Up to 10 friends can connect anywhere. Boom! I can't left this plan. I can't left this plan. The postpaid plan, cause the data really strong. Don't dig it down, don't dig it down, don't dig it down. Smart Belize. Don't dig it down, 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 don't dig it. Smart, bringing people together.
The UDP is presently unfit for the mission. The current party leader wanted the title simply to revive and promote his foreign hip-hop enterprise.
I've been smoking trees in Belize when they found me. On my way back to New York for them to crown me.
He simply does not care about our beloved UDP. The chairman is all talk and no action, doing absolutely nothing to organize the constituencies, restore the party's image, or improve its viability. So, the disgraced defeated Belmopan candidate has literally taken control of the party, unconstitutionally installing himself and his other defeated colleagues as regional leaders. With this arrangement, the UDP will never recover from the cancer of corruption that invaded our party and caused its devastating defeat in 2020.
And these are the same UDPs who want your votes for municipal elections. Not now, not ever again for this UDP set.
Violence against women begins in childhood. In cultures across the Caribbean, as elsewhere in the world, girls and boys in numerous ways are treated differently from the moment they're born. In adolescence, this gender divide increases significantly. Adolescent girls and boys in all their diversities begin to interact with the world in new ways, taking chances, learning skills, and experiencing unfamiliar emotions. They search for ways to stand out and belong, to find their place in society and make a difference in their world. It is during this time that girls are more likely to experience violence from people they know, family members, intimate and dating partners. In fact, high rates of intimate partner violence reported by adolescent girls are consistent with global estimates based on research on violence against women and girls. Up to 1/3 of adolescent girls have experienced forced sex. These estimates don't show the whole picture because no one wants to report it. This is shocking. The negative consequences of violence against adolescent girls are well documented and extend throughout a girl's lifetime. Such violence is committed against girls specifically because they are female and can take many forms. It distorts family life and the fabric of society with consequences that cross generations. But the cycle can be broken. Adolescence is a unique time for the prevention of family violence. Girls themselves are part of the solution, but they can't do it alone. There's still work to be done in our homes, communities, schools, and with our leaders to make sure that women and girls live free from violence and can take full advantage of their rights. Play your part.
Belize's location is responsible for the amazing biodiversity that we find here, including quite a few endemic species that are found nowhere else in the world.
In fact, 60% of our country still remains forested. It's part of our history, it's part of our heritage, it's part of our culture.
Business has to be a long-term thing, and it has to feed into the environment. So we truly believe that without a strong country, you can never have a strong company.
This is going to be a good night for croc catchers.
Legendary Belizean musician Andy Palacio passed away in January 2008. It's been almost 16 years since we lost the acclaimed cultural icon, whose Punta Rock and Paranda catalogs can still be heard across the country. In tonight's flashback episode of Culture Tuesday, News 5 revisits a story on Andy P., as told by those closest to him. Here's that feature.
At only 47 years old, Andy Palacio passed away. Palacio suddenly became ill and died of a stroke. It happened at the height of his career as an artist and musician. Even though he already had over 2 decades of hit songs under his belt, Palacio won the prestigious Womex Award from the World Music Expo. He was named Artist for Peace by UNESCO and named Belize's Cultural Ambassador for putting Belize on the map and leaving behind a rich legacy of the Garifuna culture and music.
For us, it's very important that we do not forget who Andy is and what he did for Belize, because what he did is an extension not only for Garinago, but for Belize. He put Belize on the map. For a lot of people who did not know, he represented us at several concerts, festivals. In particular, after the Watina album came out, he filled stadiums all over this world, literally all over the world, and one of the number one thing he did was spoke about Belize. And of course, he also impressed upon us not to lose what our forefathers gave to us, Garinago. And it's our firm belief that not only that we do not want to forget him, but we also want to continue his work.
Aruma Hanuma o Amuyego Kaba Fonasa Adegraha Wow
Amuyego. Known for timeless songs from the 90s, such as Give Me Punta Rock, Tilda Manning, Ereba, and tracks from the Watina album, including Linda and Abba and Baba, Palacio was renowned for his craft. One of his most memorable performances was back in 2006 when he threw a concert at the Brody's parking lot on the Philip Goldson Highway shortly after the release of his final album, Watina. In remembering their father, Tara and Kamau shared memorable moments of the cultural ambassador.
With him, he tried to keep it to the roots, and he always tried to implement his language within the cultural music. So for me, musicians now should try to be more active with the culture itself and not just the words of the song to have everybody dancing.
He's like into education and stuff, so like sometimes he will call us late at night and like be like, are you watching this certain show on TV? Put it on. It's talking about some educational.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
When we return, family loses everything in fire just weeks into the new year.
Today we're here shopping at B-Mart. Today we're making the green super smoothie. Let's get after it.
Belize's location is responsible for the amazing biodiversity that we find here, including quite a few endemic species that are found nowhere else in the world.
In fact, 60% of our country still remains forested. It's part of our history, it's part of our heritage, it's part of our culture.
Business has to be a long-term thing, and it has to feed into the environment. We truly believe that without a strong country, you can never have a strong company.
This is going to be a good night for croc catchers.
I'm connected.
We're connected.
Create the perfect broadband bundle that fits your style with Smart Connect. With the Junior Bundle, get 50% off your national calls and up to 6 gigabytes of data at no extra cost. Get postpaid added for an additional cost of only $25 with the Prime Bundle. Stay connected with unlimited smart-to-smart calls plus 6,300 megabytes of data and free international minutes. For the family, pay $28.13 more and get the Binge Watchers bundle with Netflix. This bundle gives you 4 profiles with unlimited streaming on multiple devices. Visit a showroom near you to sign up and personalize your own bundle combination with Smart Connect. Smart, bringing people together.
Former UDP leader and Prime Minister Dean Barrow confessed he knew there was corruption by ministers serving in his cabinet, and he also accepted some responsibility.
I also have to accept responsibility for the one never with the thief and the one with the misbehave and so on.
The former Prime Minister said he might not have had hard evidence that would meet legal standards, but he did have word-of-mouth proof of corruption by those ministers.
I didn't have proof to a legal standard. I had proof in the sense that people used to come to me, why the minister, so on, so I said, why you caution there and you try to warn there and say someone end up in jail, but people would have wanted more. People said, you must have known where to go. Why never fire the whole court?
Presumably, some of those same former ministers are currently seeking high positions in our party and positioning themselves to run for office once again.
And these are the same UDPs who want your votes for municipal elections. Not now, not ever again for this UDP set.
A Jamaican national who migrated to Belize recently remains hospitalized at the KHMH after coming under gunfire in an alley off Mayflower Street on Monday night. 30-year-old Theodore Dwyer was sitting on a chair near a basketball court sometime before 8 o'clock when a trio of men emerged from an unlit area of the neighborhood and let loose a hail of bullets in Dwyer's direction. The unsuspecting Mason was struck multiple times and remains in a critical condition. It is believed that Dwyer, who is not known to residents as being gang-affiliated, was targeted by rival gang members in the area. The shooting occurred a short distance away from a police checkpoint that has been established on Vernon Street. 23-year-old John Delcid was arraigned earlier today in the lower court on a single count of common assault. He is charged with attacking his older brother during a dispute over a missing bucket of paint. Delcid, an unemployed resident of Lawrence Avenue, appeared unrepresented before a senior magistrate where he pleaded not guilty to committing to hitting his sibling, 30-year-old Christian Delcid. The contractor alleges that during a misunderstanding with his younger brother on January 6th, he was slapped to the left side of the face, causing a swelling to his forehead. He then reported the matter to police and requested court action against him. John Delcid pleaded not guilty to the charge, and since there was no objection, he was offered bail in the sum of $300. His next court date is set for March 8, 2024. A family of 3 is left without $1 to their name after a fire wreaked havoc on their home this morning in Gardenia Village. Mother of 2, Darlene Dawson, was carrying out her normal morning routine when her 3-year-old son alerted her of a fire inside the house. The two managed to escape with their lives intact, but lost everything else but the clothes on their backs. For more on this story, we spoke with the family.
For Darlene Dawson, it was a morning like any other, taking a shower, preparing breakfast, and sending her children off to school. But all that would come to a screeching halt at around 9:15 a.m. when her son of only 3 years old came running in with the news that their house was up in flames.
I just don't have something to eat and I go in a bathroom
And I day in the bathroom, no time, just seconds. And my baby run inside and he holla, "Mommy, fire," but I hear something drop, but he look like he throw for his tablet that ground and he run, call hail me, "Mommy, come on, fire, let's go." So then I come over, when I come out, think I was save something, it fire done in my face. I can't do nothing but run out, just run out.
Neighbors were quick to notice the smoke and flames. Dawson's niece, Marlena Lightburn, who lives nearby, came rushing over to help and had her mother alert the authorities. Luckily, no one was injured.
Personnel from the fire department, when the fire blazed, they were passing at the same time and they stopped and they came back and it was like, "Did anybody call fire?" I was like, "Yeah, we did, like 20 minutes ago." And he was like, okay, I already called them too. So, and they took like 45 minutes. They came, bring some water, like 10, 20 minutes after they run out of water, had to go back, take like almost an hour to come back. Like everything is burned to the ground. Like she couldn't even save anything, not even her panties, anything, not even her cell phone.
Lightburn explained that her aunt had aspirations of starting a car wash business, but unfortunately, all her legal documents and supplies were destroyed in the fire, accumulating thousands of dollars in losses.
So we're trying to ask for help in any kind of way, like any kind of donation. She had a 14-year-old, Destiny is 14, 15, 16-year-old daughter. She's a size small in clothes, and in shoes it's like 7, 8. You have a son, 2 years old, 3 years old. He's probably a 2T or 3T. I mean, she lost everything, not even a shoe she can save, anything, nothing.
Dawson is left in a state of shock, unsure of what she will do next, and left to hope for the kindness of the community for assistance. What are your next steps after this?
I don't know. Just have to look and pray and just do what I have to do, because it's done gone. I can't bring it back. I saved my baby, saved my life, because I don't in a trap. I have to run out. I can't worry about nothing else. As long as I'm safe and he's safe, I'm good. If you guys willing to help, please. I mean, I'm begging, because, I mean, her daughter, school just started. She's in second form in Leadville Technical High. Not even a uniform. We could have saved anything. I mean, we're still in shock. The whole village still is in shock.
Brittany Gordon for News 5.
Unfortunately, that was not the only fire to occur this week. As just last night at the corners of New Road and Pitts Alley in Belize City, a shopkeeper locked up for the night, only to return less than 2 hours later to observe his business in flames. At around 7:40 p.m., the 33-year-old businessman was alerted by bystanders who saw smoke emanating from the ground floor of the 2-story cement building where Diamond Grocery Store and Laundromat were located. Luckily, firefighters responded quickly and the flames were doused without extensive damage. While no surrounded buildings were affected, the estimated cost of damage is around 5,000 Belize dollars, as he observed the damage to several items such as an air conditioning unit, standing fans, his cell phone, and 2 beds and mattresses. The building was uninsured. Fortunately, all residents of the upper half of the building were able to escape unharmed. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com on both our Facebook and YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, good night.